Yeah, hi guys. This is the JavaScript interview question series, and this is the part 1. And in this part, we are discussing the interview questions on variables and data types. Now, let's move to these questions. What are variables in JavaScript, and how do the scoping rules differ between var, let, and const? In JavaScript, variables are like containers that hold data values. They can help to store and manipulate informations in a program. The scoping rules differ between var, let, and const. Var has function level scope. It means that it's limited to the functions it's declared in. Let and const have block level scope. It means that it is limited to the block they are defined in. Const variable cannot be reassigned while let variables can. Now moving to the next question. Explain the concept of temporal dead zone in JavaScript in relation to let and const. In JavaScript, the temporal dead zone refers to a period where let and const variables are in a state where they exist but cannot exist. This period it starts from beginning of the block where they are declared and end when the declaration is reached and initialize it. If you try to use these variables before declaring them, JavaScript will throw an error. It ensures that you don't use a variable before it's properly set up. This helps avoid errors in your code by preventing the use of uninitialized variable. Now moving to the next question. Can you describe how JavaScript handle data types? Please detail how dynamic typing works. JavaScript use dynamic typing, which means that you don't have to name the type of variables when you declare it. The type of the variable is automatically determined at runtime based on the value it's hold. For example, if you assign a number to a variable, JavaScript treat as a number. If later you assign a string to the same variable, JavaScript change its type to a string. This flexibility allows for quick and easy coding but cannot lead to bugs if not managed carefully, as the data types of variable can change unexpectedly. Now moving to the next question. What is the difference between primitive and non-primitive data types? Give example and typical use case for each. Primitive data types includes numbers, strings, booleans, undefined null, symbols, and mega int. These data types holds only a single value. For example, a number like 5 or a string like hello are primitive. They are used when you need to handle individual data value directly and efficiently. Non-primitive data types, or just like a reference types, includes object, arrays, and functions. These types can hold collections of values or more complex entities. For example, an object just like name, alias, age 25 can represent a person with the properties, and arrays like this can hold multiple values in an order list. Non-primitives are used for more complex structure where multiple values need to be organized together or behavior need to be encapsulated. Discuss the type coercion in JavaScript. How can implicit coercion affect bugs formation in code? Please provide example. Type coercion in JavaScript is a process where values of a different types are automatically converted to the same type by the language. This can lead to bugs because it might not be clear when and how these conversions happen. Let's take an example. When you add a number to a string, JavaScript converts a number to a strings and then concatenates them, which might not be the intended action. Similarly, comparing a number and a string with this written true because one of them is coerced to the other type. These unexpected results can lead to logic errors in code. It make it behave like an unexpected ways. These unexpected results can lead to logic errors in code, making it behave in unanticipated ways. Now moving to the next question. How does the type of operator works? Please provide example where type of might yield unexpected result. The type of operator in JavaScript is used to determine the type of variable or values. It returns a string indicating the type like number, strings, or object. Sometimes it can give unexpected results. For example, type of null returns object, which can be surprising because null is not really an object. Also, type of array also return object, which might be unexpected since arrays are typically considered as a separate type. Now moving to the next question. What happens if you try to use a variable declared with const without initializing it as declaration? In JavaScript, if you declare a variable with const but do not initialize it at the time of declaration, you will get a syntax error. This is because const required that the variables be assigned an initial values when it is declared. Unlike var and let, which can be declared without initializing, const make it mandatory to provide a value. It ensures the variable always have some initialized data. This helps prevent issues where variables are used before being properly set up. Now the next question is discuss the concept of hoisting as it's applied to variable declared with var, let, and const. Hoisting in JavaScript is when variables and functions declarations are moved to the top of their containing scope during the compilation phase before the code has been executed. For variables declared with var, hoisting means that they are moved to the top and initialized with undefined. Variable declared with let and const are also hoisted, but they are not initialized, leading to a temporal dead zone where the variable exists but cannot be accessed until the declaration is reached in the code. This make let and cons safer to use as they help to avoid unintentional error from accessing variable before they are declared. Now moving to the next questions. Explore the limitations and benefit of using the const keyword for arrays and object data types. Using the const keyword with arrays and object in JavaScript means you can't reassign them to a new array or object. However, the content of the arrays or object can still be changed, like adding items to an array or changing properties of an object. The benefit is that it helps ensure you don't accidentally replace the whole arrays or object with a new one, which can prevent bugs in your code. The limitation is that it doesn't make the content immutable, so if you need to completely lock down an array or object, you will need an extra step like object.freeze. Now thank you for watching the complete video.